She declared, "I want an open relationship right now or we're done." I smiled and said, "All right, your rules." 1 week later, she went ballistic upon seeing the photo of my trip to the Maldives. My travel companion was none other than... It was a quiet Tuesday night after dinner. Lana had been staring at her phone all evening, smiling at messages she wouldn't let me see. Then she put it face down, looked up at me, and said calmly, "I've decided. I want an open relationship right now. If you don't agree, we're done." I looked at her, waiting for a hint of a joke, a smirk, something. But she was serious. I nodded slowly. "All right," I said. "Your rules." She looked confused for a second, maybe disappointed that I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice, didn't ask why, didn't beg. She wanted freedom. Fine, I'd give her exactly that. That night after she went to bed, I used up the travel miles I'd been saving for years and booked a last-minute flight to the Maldives. I told myself it was just a solo trip to clear my head. But the universe has a twisted sense of humor. On the second day there, I met Maya, a gorgeous woman with sun-kissed skin and a smile that could start trouble. She laughed easily, talked like she'd known me forever. And for the first time in a long time, I felt free. Lana and I had been together for 3 years, living together for 1. Somewhere along the line, she'd started to pull away. Late-night yoga classes, constant messages from friends whose names I'd never heard before, and a new obsession with privacy on her phone. I didn't push it. When someone starts locking their screen faster than they say, "I love you," you don't need to ask questions. You already know, so when she dropped that open relationship line, it didn't break me. It just confirmed what I'd already suspected. She wanted a safety net, while she tested the waters with someone else. The day after her announcement, I took a personal week off work, told my boss I needed to clear my head, bought a ticket to the Maldives that same night. No grand plan, no revenge. I just needed peace. Waves, silence, and nobody saying, "We need to talk." The first few days were exactly that. Morning coffee overlooking turquoise water, long swims, aimless walks on the sand. My brain finally stopped replaying every argument we'd ever had. For once I could breathe. Then on the third day she appeared. Maya. She was walking along the beach in a red bikini holding her sandals, her hair still wet from the sea. She asked if I could take a photo of her and her friends. I said sure. They thanked me and walked off, except she didn't. She lingered. Asked where I was from, how long I'd been on the island, if I was traveling alone. We ended up talking for an hour under a beach umbrella, just laughing about stupid things. The lizards sneaking into the bar, the overexcited tourists taking drone shots of everything, even the overpriced cocktails. There was something about her that felt uncomplicated, honest. She didn't flirt, she didn't pry. She just was. That evening she texted me. We'd both tagged the same beach cafe in our stories, and she found my profile through it. "Dinner? My friends bailed," she wrote. "We met at this tiny beach shack with fairy lights hanging between palm trees." She ordered grilled seafood and a drink that looked like a fruit salad in a glass. I told her about my recent relationship shift. When I said the words open relationship, she nearly choked on her shrimp. "Wait, she decided that for both of you?" she asked. "Pretty much. And you just said yes?" "Why not?" "I was tired of saying no to a wall." She smiled, shaking her head. "You know, some people need to open things just to realize what they've already lost." That line stuck with me. Over the next few days, we kept bumping into each other. Breakfast, snorkeling trips, beach walks. Maybe it wasn't all coincidence, but I didn't care. She made me feel like I wasn't the broken half of something anymore. On our last night, she convinced me to join her on a sunset cruise. The sky turned molten gold. The air smelled like salt and freedom. And we took a photo together, her smiling at the camera, me half laughing because she'd just made a joke about how open the ocean looked. Later that night, scrolling through my camera roll, I stopped at one photo of us on the deck, both laughing, sunburned, alive. I didn't plan to post it, but it felt peaceful. So I did. Caption, "Fresh air fixes everything." I didn't expect the reaction. Within hours, my phone started buzzing non-stop. Calls, texts, DMs, and right in the middle of it all, Lana's name appeared on the screen. She'd seen it. The woman who wanted an open relationship was now furious that I'd actually stepped through the door she unlocked. By the time I woke up the next morning, I had 20 missed calls and a flood of messages from Lana. "Who the hell is she? You're disgusting. You embarrassed me in front of everyone. Delete that photo now. I stared at the screen for a while, half amused, half tired. The irony was perfect. She was furious that I'd done exactly what she wanted. Be open. I didn't reply. I put my phone face down, ordered breakfast, and went for another swim. I figured silence would say more than any text ever could. A few hours later, I opened Instagram again. Big mistake. She'd posted along one of those black background white text paragraphs where every sentence starts with, "I just can't believe." Apparently, I had taken advantage of her trust, used her vulnerability, and ran away with another woman right when she needed me most. The comments were split. Some people sent her heart emojis and "you deserve better" replies. Others, mutual friends who knew the real situation, DM'd me screenshots saying, "Bro, is she serious? She's the one who said open." I didn't respond publicly. I didn't need to. The people who mattered already knew the truth. 2 days later, a mutual friend, Jakes, texted me, "Hey, just so you know, Lana's been seeing her yoga instructor for a while. Like before she told you about the whole open thing. That didn't surprise me. It just made everything click into place. The late workouts, the new outfits, the mysterious group sessions. Jake even sent me a photo someone had snapped at a cafe near her gym, Lana and her instructor sitting way too close, sharing a smoothie. The photo was dated 2 weeks before she asked for the open relationship. Time-stamped 2 weeks before our open talk. So yeah, she hadn't opened the relationship to explore. She opened it to cover her ass. That night I called my landlord and told him I wouldn't be returning to the apartment just yet. I didn't trust her not to pull something stupid, like changing the locks or pretending I'd moved out. He was cool about it, told me he'd keep an eye on things. Meanwhile, I went out with Maya again. Nothing romantic, just dinner and laughter. But it felt nice, genuine. Of course, Lana wasn't done. The next day, she made another post, and this time tagging me, "To the man who pretended to love me while secretly planning his escape. I hope you enjoy your little vacation. Don't forget who paid half your rent." My DMs exploded again. Some of her friends joined in, calling me a jerk. Others messaged privately, saying she'd lost it. Then came the kicker. A few co-workers of hers followed me out of curiosity, and one of them messaged me something that almost made me choke on my drink. "You know that girl in your Maldives photo? Maya, right? She's the regional manager's daughter, the same manager Lana works under." I laughed out loud. Not because I'd planned it, I had no idea, but because karma apparently worked faster than I thought. The news traveled through Lana's office like wildfire. HR got wind of it, and people started gossiping that she'd been cheating on her boyfriend while attacking him online, all while dating under her. Bosses knows her little open relationship experiment had turned into an HR case study. A few days later, Jake texted again, "Dude, Lana just got suspended. Something about inappropriate conduct and dishonesty. You good?" I was more than good. I hadn't lifted a finger. Meanwhile, Maya texted me, "Hey, I didn't realize she worked for my mom. She's not taking it well. You okay?" "Better than ever," I replied. That night, I finally turned my phone off, sat on the balcony, and watched the ocean in silence. I realized something. The peace I felt wasn't just from the waves or the distance. It was from knowing that for once I hadn't lost anything worth keeping. When I flew back home, I expected silence. Maybe some awkward texts. Maybe her pretending nothing had happened. Instead, the first message I got was from Maya. "So, my mom wants to meet you. Don't freak out. She's actually really nice." I froze. Her mom? The regional manager Lana worked under. I couldn't help but laugh. Karma really didn't waste time. I stared at the screen for a solid minute before it clicked. Her mom, Mrs. Torres. The same name Lana used to drop every time she bragged about her amazing boss. I laughed so hard I almost dropped my phone. The woman Lana constantly bragged about impressing. "My boss adores me. She says I have real leadership potential," was the same woman whose daughter I had met on a random beach halfway across the world. You can't script irony like that. I agreed to the meeting. We met at a quiet cafe downtown. Maya's mom, Mrs. Torres, was everything Lana had described. Confident, intimidating, but polite. She didn't waste time. "I'm aware of the situation," she said, carefully choosing her words. "My daughter told me about what happened. And well, the internet made sure I couldn't avoid it. I nodded, unsure where this was going. I want to make it clear, my daughter is an adult. But your ex has caused quite a bit of drama at work. Accusations, emotional outbursts, even an HR complaint claiming she's being targeted because of this. Targeted by who? I asked. By me, she said flatly. Apparently I'm biased because my daughter stole her boyfriend. I couldn't help but laugh. That's insane. Mrs. Torres gave a small smile. I know, and don't worry. I have documentation. Lana's performance has been slipping for months. She's late, distracted, constantly on personal calls. This incident just made things impossible to ignore. She paused, looked at me directly. You don't need to do anything. We're handling it internally. But I thought you deserved to know. When I left the cafe, I didn't feel vindicated. I just felt done. Like I'd finally reached the end of a movie I'd been forced to sit through too many times. Over the next few days, everything unfolded exactly the way you'd expect. HR stepped in. Screenshots circulated. Her online rant, her deleted posts, even photos with her yoga instructor. Someone sent me a clip from her work group chat where she blamed me for her emotional instability. A week later, HR suspended her pending review. 2 weeks after that, she was gone. Fired quietly, no announcement. She texted me that night. I lost my job because of you. You ruined my life. I hope you're happy. I typed back slowly. You didn't lose it because of me. You lost it because of you. And hit send a few days later. A friend showed me a post she'd made. A photo of herself with some cryptic caption about starting fresh and letting go of toxic people. The comment section was brutal. A few people called her out, saying they knew what really happened. One even commented, "Didn't you start this whole thing?" She deleted the post within the hour. Meanwhile, Maya and I stayed in touch. We texted, video called, joked about how ridiculously small the world was. She wasn't trying to rush anything. And that's exactly why I liked her. She respected space, something Lana never understood. For the first time in months, I didn't feel like I was surviving a relationship. I was just living. 2 weeks later, I went back to the apartment to pack my stuff. Lana was there, pretending to act calm, but her eyes were red. I just wanted to talk, she said quietly. I messed up. I didn't mean for things to go this far. I didn't say anything. I kept folding my clothes, unplugging my console, packing what was mine. She stood behind me, voice trembling. I thought an open relationship would make us stronger. I was confused. No, I said. You were selfish. There's a difference. Her face hardened. You're really just walking away. After everything? I zipped up the suitcase. You walked first, Lana. I just stopped waiting for you to turn around. She didn't follow me out. Maybe she finally realized there was nothing left to say. I moved into a smaller apartment across town. Quiet, simple, mine. A month later, Maya visited. She brought wine, takeout, and that same easy laugh that first caught my attention on the beach. We sat on the balcony, watching the city lights flicker below. She asked softly, "Do you ever miss her?" I shook my head. You can't miss something that stopped existing before you noticed. We didn't talk about Lana again. That night I posted one last photo, not to make a point, not to prove anything. Just a simple picture. Me and Maya on the balcony, glasses raised, smiling. Caption, "Freedom looks good on everyone. A few friends liked it." One of them texted, "Man, you look at peace." I was somewhere out there. Lana was probably still trying to rewrite the story, still convincing herself she was the victim. But none of that mattered anymore. She opened the door. I just walked through it, and I never looked back. Looking back now, I'm not angry anymore. Sometimes people show you exactly who they are. All you have to do is stop trying to repaint the picture. I learned that love without respect isn't love. And peace. Peace is the reward you get when you finally stop chasing what's already walking away. If you made it this far, thanks for listening to my story. So I hope it reminds someone out there that letting go isn't losing. It's choosing yourself. Stay kind, stay calm, and don't let anyone guilt you for walking out the door they opened.